Are you impressed? Hey guys, today I'm going to take you on a tour of what is probably the best book with reference images for the Navy Phantoms. This book was written by Danny Koremans and published by Taco Publications, which were kind enough to send me this book for my Phantom build. So let's get right into it. Starting with a nice image, and in general the images inside this book are very high quality. There is some history about the airplane, and we dig right into it with the radome nose. Here, quite an interesting thing. In the corners we have a little drawing of the Phantom, and in red we have the section in which we are right now. So we go through various radome noses. Then we have a very good view of the radar and another version of the radar, and then more of the same stuff, again radar. Then we go to the cooling intakes, and then a general overview of the nose section, the various openings on it, the crew ladder. Along with all the pictures, we have a little bit of text to tell us what we are looking at. I guess, like me, most of the people don't have that good of an idea, so this is very useful. Now here we are on the canopies. A good detailed look at them. Then we go to the variable intake ramps and their details. With all of those pictures we can get a very good idea of the general weathering patterns that form on this aircraft and how different they can weather one to the other. Here we have a section about the ECM, then the air refueling probe, one of the avionic bays, which is pretty darn interesting to see. Then we go on to the fuselage, various antennas and stuff, the F4B/N wing, which is called thin wing. Obviously, other wings are thicker. We can see all the fastener details that are visible. Very interesting angles from underneath the aircraft, which are rarely shown on the internet side of things. Then the thick wing on the J model. Then the slatted wing on the S, again in great detail. The wing folding mechanisms, we have a good view of them as well. Then we have a variation of the wingtip. Again, another variation of the wingtip. Some antennas, which obviously are somehow specific. Then the aft fuselage. Again, a hell of a lot of weathering reference here. Then we go to the engine exhaust and the internals of the engine. This book provides a look over the B and N and J and S variants, as well as the QF. Heat resistant plates, a very detailed look again at them, and the arrestor hook. Then we get the aft fuselage and the stabilizer. Drag chute housing, which you can rarely see open and with detailed pictures. The tail with all of the details. Then we go to the nose landing gear in all possible angles that we can ask for. The landing gear well as well. The landing gear door and the well of the Sparrow missile. The belly in the front. We have the liquid oxygen bottle compartment. The front area of the belly again with some opened hatches and their contents. Then we have ECM antennas and catapult hooks. The main landing gear from a variety of angles. The gear base with all the details that you may want. High resolution, high quality images everywhere. We have a separate section for the different variants, so that's why we have something like a double go through the landing gear base. We have here the speed brakes assembly, the reinforcement strips and how they look, central line fuel tank, wing fuel tanks. They're apparently different. Then we have missile pylons. Then the rear belly area where the engines are. Some air-to-air photography, which is very interesting and cool looking. And then we go into the cockpit of the B and N versions. This book so far helped me quite a lot with my F4 Phantom cockpit, the one from Tamiya that I am almost finished with now. The advanced and master tiers of my YouTube channel's membership page are getting daily updates on this and my other builds, so if you're interested, you can hit the join button and see what other kind of interesting things the tiers give you, and you're more than welcome to join. Now here we have the F4B and N front cockpit. A lot of details, as you can see, for every single nook and cranny of this office, from different viewing angles, and just amazing thing to look at. A view of the ejection seat and the pile of hoses and wires behind the pilot. Then we go to the after cockpit, to the aft cockpit of this version. Again, everything and more than everything that you can see on your model, you can see it here. Then we get the F4S front cockpit, which is slightly different. We can see all the weathering patterns and different details. touch-ups and whatnot. A lot of attention has been paid to the front cockpit. Again, some close-up of the seat. Then we go to the back cockpit of the J and S variants, and a few images of the ejection seat in place. Then we go to the Mark V ejection seat, the Martin Baker, and the Mark VII ejection seat. Then we have the QF version, the front cockpit, and the rear cockpit. Those are drones, for those of you who don't know. For those interested in this book, I will leave links in the description of this video. Very interesting stuff. We have here some interesting images with battle damage sustained by the aircraft, and it was able to be safely landed, which is a great testament to the structural integrity of this airplane. Then we get into some more interesting details about the maintenance of the airplane. Again, some images of the radars outside of the fuselage, the ramp turbine, the sides of the intake trunks that have some plumbing, and then we go to the open spine of the aircraft, where you can see all kinds of fuel lines and cables and whatnot. Then more opened up stuff like the leading edge flap, the wing spoilers, the flap and the speed brake in detail, again the wing fold mechanism, the fuel pump, air intake ducts from inside the aircraft, the fuel pump 2 and 3, engine bay doors as they look when they are opened. Then we have a engine in front of us with all its details and the process of removal of this engine, left and right. Then we have the engine outside. This one is the J79. We have the engine bay without the engines. The tail and the horizontal stabilizers dismantled. And now we're going into the armament section. We have beautiful images of a museum aircraft with the M7 Sparrows. And we have them on the deck of an aircraft carrier on their carts. We have the sidewinders. Again, an example of how they are transported on deck. Very interesting period photos of the crew transporting all kinds of weapons around the deck. We have some bombs here, racks, rocket pods, and a gallery with additional images. Now we go to the summary of the missiles with explanation of what all the bands. Next up, we get to the sad end of most of these machines. And next we have something very cool, in my opinion. Check this out. If that's not something extraordinarily nice, I don't know what is. And along with the drawings, we have a instruction what's what, and then more of the same for the rear cockpit and for the J and S cockpits. And on the other side we have 1/48 scale blueprints, and then in another folding thingy we have 1/72 scale. Along with some more 1/48 scale. That's something I really like a lot, because it's not easy to find this stuff. So, as I said earlier, if you are interested in this book, I will leave links in the description below this video. Again, thanks a lot to Daku Publications for sending me this. It's an immense help for my Phantom build, and you will be able to see that I will take a good use of this book to build something that so far I haven't seen anyone else build, at least on YouTube, with the Tamiya Phantom. On that note, thank you for watching, and until next time, happy modeling, fellas!